What's up, my people? My name is Diamond. Welcome back to the channel. If I had to narrow it down to one thing that had the largest impact on my financial life or life in general, it's definitely my decision to start reading more. As a young adult in my 20s, I was focused on making money and living life to the fullest. The problem with that thought process is that I was running 100 miles an hour towards a financial brick wall, which undoubtedly would have caused me to crash and burn. But luckily, I was able to course correct long before that ever happened. And today I want to share with you 6 books that had a major impact in that course correction and caused me to get my financial life on track. I grew up in a city where 40% of the population lives in poverty. And coming out of an environment like that can definitely distort your view on what success looks like. For me, success looked like getting a good job, making good money so that you can buy the things you want to buy, you can travel to the places you want to go, and you get to live the life you want to live. And you might be thinking, Diamond, what's wrong with that? Well, the problem is that there are some components missing out of that vision of success. Because even though I was successful in my own mind and in my own right, I was also a part of the statistic that says 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Now, at the time, I wouldn't have identified with that group because it didn't feel like I was living like that. But in reality, that's exactly where I was. I also had a mountain of debt that I was carrying with me, and my retirement savings was well off track. But that's where these books came in. So let's jump into them. The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Keller and Papasan. This book caused me to refocus my life. As a young adult working in my 20s, I had proven that I knew how to make money, and I definitely knew how to stay busy. But this book gave me page after page, chapter after chapter, a trail of nuggets that I would carry with me throughout my entire financial journey. And honestly, I'll be carrying them for the rest of my life. Things like willpower is not on will call, meaning that you can stay focused and get that task done at work, but you might skip your workout at the end of the day. It's not because you're a failure or that you don't care about your workout. It's that willpower is not on will call and you only have so much of it. Another one was counterbalance. We've all heard about work-life balance. And for me, it was impossible for me to keep everything in my life perfectly balanced and perfectly level for any length of time. The truth is, counterbalance is where it's at. Because there's times in my life where I had to focus more on my career and less on the family. And then other times, the family gets the attention and work slips. It's just how it is. That's the reality that I live in. So having that counterbalance is important because now I understand that it's okay to have these moments where you're shifting your energy and your focus. But the key is to just don't stay too long in one area and let the other ones fall completely off the map. This book also blows the idea of multitasking out the water. It talks about how you need to focus on the one thing that's right in front of you so that you can give it your undivided attention. Therefore, you're going to get the best results. Let's take it a step further. The 80-20 rule, where 80% of your results come from 20% of your effort. So let's focus on the things that's in that 20% so that we can get those done first to ensure that we get 80% of the way there. It was this and many other lessons in this book that caused me to refocus my life. And it had a major impact, not just in my day-to-day life, but in my career, in my marriage, in my finances. And that's why this book set the foundation for my financial course correction. The second book is Retire Inspired by Hogan. This book was truly my retirement wake-up call. As a young man in my 20s, I thought of retirement as just an age. 59, 60, 65, 70, just some age that you get to, and then magically you can retire and you get to live your dreams. And to be honest with you, I really thought when I was like 20 years old that I was going to retire by like 40 and life was going to be set. No, retirement is not an age. Like he says right on the cover, it's not an age, it's a financial number. And this book got me thinking about that financial number. Because in this book, Hogan talks about 4 types of retirements. And he's saying that everybody is going to end up with one of these 4 types of retirements. And that's the burden retirement, the nightmare retirement, the normal, or the dream. Now, of course, as a young man, I'm thinking about the dream. I want to live life on my own terms. I want to have enough money to do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's the dream retirement. But the reality is, and the statistics show, that most people are going to end up either with the burden, nightmare, or the normal. And the nightmare retirement is where you don't have any money at all. You live paycheck to paycheck. You depend on the government for their assistance with SSI and other government programs, and you live in poverty from your healthcare to your finances. Now remember, I told you, I grew up in a city where 40% of the population lives in poverty. So I know what that looked like. That's definitely not where I want to be. But the truth is, the life that I was living and the course that I was on, it would have led me to that nightmare. That's the brick wall that I was talking about. And of course, no one wants to be a burden to their family or their friends. But if you don't have any money, then that's what you end up being. You have the burden retirement, where you're dependent on your family or your friends or your kids to take care of you in your old age. And the normal retirement is just that. You saved a little bit, but you wasn't really focused. So you have a little bit saved, but not enough to live a dream, but you do have enough to pay your basic necessities. And none of those sound like something I want. The dream retirement is what I always wanted. That's what I thought about when I was 20 years old. But this book gave me the wake-up call to understand that if I don't get on a plan, if I don't stay focused, if I don't stay committed to something and get my finances on track, that dream retirement is going to be just that, a dream. So I'm glad I course corrected going into my 30s and not into my 50s or 60s. Even though in this book, he lets it be known that it don't matter what age you are, you can course correct and you can retire with dignity. So now I'm refocused. I've had a retirement wake-up call. Let's keep moving. The third book was my reality check, and that's People Are Idiots and I Can Prove It. The 10 Ways You're Sabotaging Yourself and How to Overcome Them by Larry Winget. This book, reading this book was like getting slapped in the face page after page, and then being told why you got slapped in the face and what you can do about it so that you never get slapped in the face again. It was just full of truth telling. Take this passage for example. Wait, you say you give a damn? Bull, you don't give a damn because you aren't putting any of your time, energy, or money into it. If you aren't putting your time, energy, and money into something, then you don't give a damn about it. Your time, energy, and money always go to what's important to you. Woo! This was a reality check because it was at this point where I realized knowing what to do and having the knowledge is not going to get me anywhere if I don't apply it. Now, it all sounds simple when you look back on it, but the truth is, how many of us know what to do, but if we really being honest with ourselves, we're not doing it. And I was definitely a work in progress. But when you combine the one thing, which caused me to refocus, then add the Retire Inspire book, which gave me my retirement wake-up call, and you combine that with this brutally honest, truth-telling book here, this reality check, now we were starting to get somewhere. Now my financial life was starting to change because I was gathering the information, and now I'm starting to put the energy and the effort into making things happen. What you may notice by now is that we're halfway through this video, and 2 of the 3 books that I've mentioned has nothing to do with personal finance. Yet I credit them with having a major impact on course correcting my financial life and for the financial success that I'm seeing to this day. And that's because personal finance is so much more than dollars and cents. And if you want to purchase any books that's mentioned in this video, I'll leave links to them down in the description below. They are affiliate links, but it don't cost you any extra money. And if you really want, I highly encourage you to check them out at your local library. Let's keep moving. The next book is by far the most popular, and that's The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. This book is the plan. This plan allowed me to pay off over $100,000 in just 34 months. And this book ties directly into the one thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. For me, paying off $100,000 in 34 months was pretty extraordinary in my book. And this book helped me get there. Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps is simple and easy to follow. Baby step 1 is save $1,000, a small little beginner emergency fund. Baby step 2 is pay off your debt. Baby step 3 is save 3 to 6 months. This is a fully funded emergency fund. 4, 5, and 6 is done together, which makes sense when you understand what they are. Baby step 4 is start investing 15% of your income into your retirement. Baby step 5 is start saving for your kids' college. And baby step 6 is pay off the house with any money that's left over, with the ultimate goal being 100% debt-free house and everything. Baby step 7 is where you max out all retirement savings accounts available to you. You build wealth and you give generously. When I combined these steps with the information I received from the other books, it was like hitting a financial reset button. And that brick wall I was running towards at 100 miles an hour, I blasted through that. Started going even faster towards financial freedom and building wealth. But I still had a ways to go. I still had more to learn. The 5th book is The Cashflow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki. This book was the education. Why is it that some people can work less, make more, and pay less in taxes? This book helped me redefine what success was. If you remember, I told you earlier that I thought success was getting a good job and making a lot of money. And there's nothing wrong with that, but this book helped me understand what I was doing. And what I was doing was I was setting myself up to be an awesome employee. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are 3 other ways you can make money. And that is where the cash flow quadrant comes into play. It breaks the cash flow quadrant down into 4 areas. On one side, you have your employees and your small business owners or self-employed folk. On the other side, you have your big business and investors. And it talked about the flow of money between these different groups of people. And ultimately, you have to answer the question, which quadrant do you want to be in? And I'll give you a hint. It's not employee. At this point, I had read other books such as Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, even The Millionaire Next Door, among many other books. But it was this book that resonated the most with me. You see, Retire Inspired gave me that retirement wake-up call. It made me think about retirement and the fact that I need to do something in order to get there. The Total Money Makeover was the plan on how to get out of debt and build wealth and ultimately get to my retirement dream. But it was the cash flow quadrant that accelerated the plan and made me think even bigger. And that's why I can't give credit to just any one book that helped me get my financial life on track. And now we're down to the last book. And this book was the truth. And that is Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. This book is based on the largest study of millionaires in modern history. And it breaks down a ton of myths with hard, cold facts about what millionaires are made of, where they come from, where they got their money from, where they work, what kind of car they drive, down to their shopping habits in the grocery store. Check out the front cover. Everyday Millionaires, how ordinary people built extraordinary wealth and how you can too. This book spent a good chunk of its pages trying to convince me that I could be a millionaire. Not only could I be a millionaire, but we're surrounded by millionaires. We just don't see them because they don't look like the images that we have been told that that's what a millionaire looks like. This book exposed truths like the top 3 professions for millionaires are teachers, accountants, and engineers. What? And that the average millionaire had less than $100,000 household income for the majority of their working life. Everyday Millionaires convinced me that not only can I be a millionaire, but it would be a crying shame if I worked my entire life and didn't become a millionaire. But it's not about being a millionaire. It's about living the type of life that you want to live. And if you take it back to Retire Inspire, remember, retirement is not an age, it's a financial number. What's your financial number? I know mine. And hopefully you can see how these books have come together to help this guy go from a flawed view of success, living paycheck to paycheck with $100,000 in debt, to being debt-free, building wealth, and heading towards the financial life that I've always dreamed of, and knowing that I'm going to get there faster than I ever thought possible. Comment down below and tell me what's your favorite personal finance book. And if you know somebody who can use this information or would be inspired by this video, please share this video with them. And until next time, I'm Diamond. Peace.